To Ukraine now, where the war has intensified and a new peacemaker is in the picture. Russian missiles are hitting Ukrainian cities. Ukrainians are striking inside Russian territory. And guess who wants to mediate now? The Pope. He says the Vatican is involved in a peace plan. We'll tell you all about it tonight. First, the latest from the ground. Russia is stepping up attacks. Yesterday, it fired 18 cruise missiles into Ukraine. They inflicted heavy damage. More than 30 people were hurt. 19 multi-story buildings, 25 private houses, at least 6 schools and preschools, and 5 shops were damaged. What's the response from Ukraine? Reports say they're planning a counter-offensive. Also, Russian territories are coming under attack. Yesterday, a Russian train was derailed. It was a freight train, and the derailment happened in Bryansk, a Russian border region near Ukraine. An explosive device went off, and that's when the train derailed. There were no casualties here, but Russia sees the Ukraine in hand. It has no evidence to prove it, though. This has been the story for a while. Towns in western Russia, close to the border with Ukraine, have been under attack. Moscow says it's the work of Kiev, but Kiev neither confirms nor denies, and the casualties continue to mount. The worst fighting is still in the eastern Ukrainian town of Bakhmut. The Americans have released an assessment. They say 100,000 Russian fighters have been killed or wounded. 1 lakh fighters. Some 20,000 died. About half of these were mercenaries, members of the Wagner group. Remember, this is an assessment from the White House, so take it with a pinch of salt. This narrative suits America. It says Russian soldiers are being sent into battle without proper training, which is why so many of them are dying. Interestingly, this is also in line with claims made by the Wagner group. Wagner is a group of mercenaries backed by the Kremlin. They've been leading the battle for Bakhmut. 2 months back, they said the casualty count was 30,000. 30,000 Wagner mercenaries either died or were killed in action. And yesterday, the Wagner chief hit out at Moscow. He said they should send weapons or his fighters will leave.
Сегодня 1 мая, 14 часов 30 минут.
Happy birthday and happy birthday to the company. If the company is destined to die, it won't be at the hands of the Ukrainian army or NATO, but because of our domestic bureaucrats.
Вот это вот всё новенькое.
So these are Thompsons. I have tens of thousands of these Thompsons, brand new, factory oiled.
Томпсонов у меня десятки тысяч.
This is a packing slip. The Ukrainians have been checking it all. The last one was in 2016. You don't need to do it more often than that.
Чаще не надо. Артиллерийских
I propose putting out an advertisement on Avito. I'll exchange these weapons, which are sufficient for a 1,000,000-strong army, for 300 tons a day of close-range artillery.
тонн в сутки артиллерийских.
That's the level of desperation. He wants to swap weapons for artillery. There's been no response from Moscow, but the Russian defense minister did admit that there is a need to speed up production. Let me quote from what Sergei Shoigu said. The country's leadership has set defense enterprises the task of increasing the pace and volume of production in a short time. So just like Ukraine, Russia needs more weapons. Both sides seem to be preparing for the long haul. And now an unlikely mediator has emerged, Pope Francis. He says the Vatican has undertaken a secret peace mission.
Lei si immagina che
I'm willing to do everything that has to be done. There is a mission in course now, but it is not yet public. When it is public, I will reveal it. I think that peace is always made by opening channels. You can never achieve peace through closure. This is not easy.
What is this about? The Pope did not share details, but we can tell you that he was in Hungary recently. It was a 3-day visit. He met Prime Minister Viktor Orban. He also met a representative from the Russian Orthodox Church. And last week, Ukraine's Prime Minister met the Pope. He came with a request. In the month of March, thousands of Ukrainian children were deported to Russia. Ukrainian estimates say 8,000 children. But Russia has denied any wrongdoing. Kiev, though, accuses Putin of abducting children. And this has led to an arrest warrant against the Russian president. It was issued by the International Criminal Court in the month of March. We told you about it. So Ukraine's Prime Minister appealed to the Pope and sought his intervention in this matter. And we are told that the Pope agreed. He agreed to help. He said the Holy See had facilitated some prisoner exchanges in the past. So is his so-called peace mission about the return of Ukrainian children? Or is the Pope eyeing a larger role in the war? Guess we'll have to wait to find out.